Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to check out the Miguron Karok. A pretty crazy budget knife here. This one's definitely got some buzz around it for multiple reasons. You got a very, very well heat-treated D2 blade. It's called their Cryo D2. They have heat-treated it between 62 and 64, and Taylor Hardness did some of his own testing, and they're coming out at like 63 for the aluminum version here, and 62.5 for the titanium version. Now, say what you will about D2, but when you heat treat it like that, it is a game changer. You're unlikely to find a knife under $40 with this good of edge retention when you start getting into those numbers with D2. So these are around $37 for the aluminum version. Then you can do a pretty cool DIY version where you can pick titanium, carbon fiber, your own clip color, and then it ends up being in the high 50s. I think it's around 58. This is a button liner lock. So it's not a top liner lock, it's a button connected to a conventional liner. It has a good amount of tension to it for me and good lockup. As you can see, that's about what I want to see when it comes to lockup. Let's flick it out really hard. And there's what it looks like. Kind of like what we've seen Ramet do recently. And so you can see back here, button operated. If you don't like the whole, splatter look of this one, it does come in a bunch of different color options. Nice looking pivot. It is, like I said, aluminum, and you got some skeletonized liners down there. I believe the clip is titanium as well, and there's some other titanium elements like the button. And I think those standoffs are too. This does have a reversible clip. I have already pocketed this a bit, but I didn't want to reverse the clip yet until I made this video because I know you guys judge us lefties and it would just throw it all off for you. But once this video is done, I'm definitely going to continue using this knife because I really like it, and I'm going to flip the clip over to this side. So Miguron's been making some buzz, and for good reason. It's going to be really hard to find this quality of knife for this price point. This does have a modified sheep's foot blade, sort of a reverse tanto. It reminds me, where's it at? Of the Best Tech Cicadas wing that has gotten pretty popular recently. It's a very, utilitarian blade shape, but you can see this one, the spine's more straight. On the Karok here, it's kind of an angular and then a swedge right there. And, a lot of that's for looks. It makes it look a little more aggressive. But I also like the way it ramps up right there with that jimping. Makes it really comfortable to hold like this. And so I do think there's some, actual use case for that interesting shape there. And there's a look at the tip right there and that swedge, a little bit better angle. A high flat grind. It gets pretty thin behind the edge here. Thumb studs on both sides, and it is out of the way of the cutting path and of your sharpening path, so makes it pretty easy if you have like a fixed angle sharpener. Now, your cutting edge is about 3 inches, a little bit less than 3 inches there, and the full blade length is about 3 3/8 or so. Overall length, you're looking at about 7.5, maybe a little bit over. So, it's in that, mid-size, to full-size pocket knife. If you are a Cicadas wing user, you can get an idea there. The blade is a little bit longer. And here is the Miguron Vakor. It's a little bit larger than that as well. Well, those handles are about the same, I would say, but the blade's a little bit longer. And there it is next to a PM2. Now, it's not perfect because my camera's not perfectly angled down, but you can kind of get the idea there. The PM2 is still a little bit longer. As far as weight, 3.1 ounces. Not bad at all for this size of pocket knife and with an aluminum handle and liners. The action on this is pretty superb. All right, like I said, perfect amount of tension, I think, on that button. It feels like there's a good amount of lock bar tension on it while still making it fairly easy to unlock. Really nice on the reverse flick. I can use this with my right hand. Yeah, not too bad. Good detent for sure. So, yeah. I like that. I think that feels good. As far as centering goes, your centering's pretty close. Might be just a hair to the right, but it's pretty close. That'd be easy to fix. It is running on bearings. Interesting handle shape for sure, and you got those little grooves right there just for design and maybe a little extra, texture to grip onto. But with the way that this is shaped, you can see there, it's got some sculpting to it. It doesn't feel slick or anything. You really are locked into me. Now, it's a thinner handle, which is probably part of why, the weight is down on this, but I don't mind it. It might not be like your hardcore work knife where you want just that super bulky handle, but for an EDC knife, I really think that this is very ergonomic. Any more of a curve, and I probably wouldn't like it, but as is, it feels good. You can get your thumb up there, and you can even choke up a bit right there. I wear size XXL gloves. I can still easily get 4 fingers on it, like that, or choked up like that. It's hard to complain, but I do wish that they used filler tabs on their reversible clips. I think it's awesome they're putting reversible clips on most of their knives now. But, one little wish list thing would be a filler tab just because I think that looks good, especially when you have it inset like that. No blade play up or down, left or right. It feels like you're locked in well. And you got a little bit of relief here on this side, so if you wanted to use it like a conventional liner lock, you can. Thumb studs feel comfortable as well. No issue there. Oh, also, if you are a lefty, that button doesn't seem to really get in my way at all. Most button locks do not. They usually are a little bit higher up than where my pointer finger is. Even if I'm right here, I don't have a lot of pressure pushing down on a lock that's up here. So now, D2. Let's talk about it a little bit. I think it's gotten a little bit of a bad name, but I started collecting in 2015. And back then, there were high-end knives with D2. It was lauded for its edge retention. The downsides are it's not super duper corrosion resistant. It's not super duper tough, but it can have really good edge retention, especially when heat treated super duper well. So I think it's a good EDC steel for like a hardcore working knife. 14C Magna Cut's probably a little bit better, but this is going to have better edge retention than 14C. Maybe even Magna Cut, depending on heat treat. I wouldn't go that far, but it's not going to be as tough. So for your regular EDC type of tasks, totally fine. If you're out, doing crazy stuff with it, you probably want to go with a more tough steel. And also, if you work on the water or something, or you're out by the ocean or something like that, there's probably other steels. But for general EDC tasks, a high heat treated blade with D2 like this is going to get the job done, and you're going to be shocked how great your edge retention is on it. Not the easiest to sharpen, but most high edge retention steels are not. Definitely watch some sharpening videos on D2. So I think this is great. I think that this one's going to be a pretty damn popular budget knife this year because of what you get. 63 HRC D2, aluminum handles, some titanium components for like $37 is pretty insane. And you can get a titanium version of this for under $60, which is also pretty insane. Really nice, useful blade shape, good for slicing, but also chopping. It's a really good utilitarian blade shape for sure for EDC tasks. Nice low tip right there, so you can do some really nice detailed stuff as well. Oh, one more thing to check as far as hardware, the body screws are T8. Pivot looks to be T8 as well. And those clip screws, those definitely are T6. It's a nice clip though, deep carry. Good amount of spring. I think most people will be fine with this clip as long as you don't mind the little swoop there like we see with a lot of them. And so to wrap it up, I think they nailed this thing. Solid materials, solid action, really useful blade shape, a good size for everyday carry. Under $40, pretty wild where we are in the knife world right now. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I will put a link in the description for where you can pick this up. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching.